Hey Mites! It's time for another one of those Patreon Q&A things. There's a lot of questions this month. I guess my call for questions last month did not go unheeded. Let's get down to business. The first questions come from Hal Fackler. He says, I was wondering if you ever thought about making a DeviantArt or a Tumblr. Maybe start doing more doodles or just drawing that wasn't comics. I have. Most artists have a Tumblr, and I almost made one at one point, but I don't know. I guess I don't want to do something just because everyone else is doing it, and also I don't have time. Next question is, wondering if you've ever thought about doing anything other than drawing in YouTube, like sculpture, truck driving, maybe game development. When I was younger, the only two dream jobs of mine were to make comics and to make video games. So I have thought about game development. It's just game development is an unstable place. It's not even enough to make just a good game now. Now it's like, it's got to be super good and super unique, and you know, it's not as forgiving a field as it used to be. Although the same could be said for comics and YouTube videos. So you know, I just want to fully flesh out what I'm doing here now first, and you know, see what works, what doesn't. But yeah, nothing really. Has there ever been another dream that I've wanted to follow? Any other like vastly different field? Not really. I've just always wanted to do something with art and video games, and so this works for me. The next questions come from Lavelane. He asks, do you have any plans for the Kakujo Comics YouTube channel? I found it a while back. It was originally my art YouTube channel, the one that I had a separate YouTube account to post my comic time lapses. I had made some like art vlogs basically, where I was like drawing the comic and just like blathering on about things, and some of them people really seemed to like, you know, whenever I actually was able to keep on a topic, and do, well, either way, I considered doing some tutorial things too. Thing was, it was just, I didn't have enough time to really put into making that a fully fleshed out channel, and it literally just became comic time lapses, and I was like, that's so small an amount of content that I can just fold it into my main YouTube channel, so no plans for it. In fact, I've been meaning to put up a video on that channel saying, I'm not doing this anymore, go to this channel. I recorded that video like months ago, so, but nothing, no. It's all gonna be here on this channel. He also asks, cake, refrigerated or room temperature? Refrigerated. There's something just amazing about like a cold, thick, slightly moist piece of cake, and the way the icing hardens a little more. It's just like this. I really like refrigerated cake. Yes. Herman Leon asks, got almost nothing. His last name's pronounced Leong. I messed it up the first time. Sorry. Do you own any props/tools that you can make into an awesome Halloween costume? Not really. I mean, like last year when I made Lily's costume, she went as Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, you know? I had to just go out to the park and like find a big stick and then whittle it down with a knife that was completely inappropriate for whittling. I cut myself. It was one of those foldable, you know, like pocket knife kind of things, and it worked. It was sharp, and it held up to the job. It's just I would be like whittling or whatever, and then I would like move wrong, and then it would like close. The knife would like close in on my fingers. So yeah, I need to get myself an actual whittling knife. That's like $24. I can't do that right now. You kidding me? Any ideas if Lily is going trick-or-treating, and what would her costume be? She is definitely, of course, she's 5. She wants to be a yellow Pikmin from the hit game Pikmin, and I thought that was going to be simple from the start. You know, yellow unitard, make some ears or something, you know, get like a headband, flop some ears on it, put a little flower on her head, whatever, that would be it, you know. And then Tenorio was like, Tenorio and I had a conversation about how now that I've seen cosplay and I've been to a convention, and you know I'm kind of more in that realm than like Halloween style costumes. Like I would feel weird if I made a costume, if she had a costume and it was just kind of crappy, you know. And I guess it's just like by Halloween standards it wouldn't be crappy, but my own cosplay stand anyway. She took that as me saying that her Halloween costume had to be perfect, so she decided that we were going to make it from scratch, I thought. And so she sits down to start doing this, right, to make Lily's Pikmin costume, and she just brings home like this yard of yellow, like kind of stretchy felt-ish cotton material. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna make it from scratch? Because that's like, I don't know how to do that. And so she sits down to start doing it, and she gets overwhelmed, and she's like, "If you want it to be perfect, you do it." And I was like, I didn't say, I didn't want it to be perfect, but so I said anyway. So I spent an entire day. There went my entire day. I look up from knowing nothing, how to make shirt patterns based off of like using your own pre-existing shirts as templates and pants and hats and all that. I made patterns. I cut out the patterns into pieces. I put together a full-blown shirt from scratch, from just a flat yard of thing. The collar was too small though. You should have seen Lily. She freaked out. Like I was pulling it over her, and she like if a shirt's over her face too long, she's like, "Ah!" So yeah, didn't end up using that. But then I make the shirt. I'm about to move on to the pants. Tenorio comes home. This is like the next day, by the way. That's how long I was working on this situation. And she's like, "Why are you making pants and a shirt? We were just gonna make the hat." I ordered her some like yellow top and bottom, and I'm like, okay, that's both a relief and very frustrating, but cool, alright. So those came in, and yeah, they're a lot better than the shirt I made, but at least the thing I made was vaguely shirtish, and I actually wouldn't mind trying it again. Like, I learned from the first time, I learned things that would make the next attempt be, like, good, and I'm actually wanting to, like, sew and stuff. I'm like a sewing Super Saiyan, When I mess up, I get better way better the next time. Pretty much. So yeah, she's gonna be a Pikmin. I've made the hat, and I need to make the flower, and then that's it. Any idea if Lily's going? Alright. How is Kaku Kitty treating you? Good? Where is she? Oh, she's on screen, isn't she? She's doing the chicken set where they tuck the thing. I mean, she's comfortable. She's relaxed. She's been very good. Still a little she doesn't trust me because I took her to the vet. I had to do it, and then the next vet visit was supposed to be Tenorio taking her, but then when Tenorio went, the roads that she tried to take were closed off because there was some guy with a gun on the road somewhere, and the police had blocked off the roads and were looking for this guy. And so Tenorio couldn't take her, so then I had to take her the second time too. So it took like a week for the cat to trust me again. But chicken sit. So I think we're all good now. Is it possible to see Monster Hunter through with Tenorio and Lily on the channel? Or no intention? Monster Hunter, is that what that is? Because Tenorio is all about Monster Hunter. She loves Monster Hunter so much. She especially loves the multiplayer aspect of it because she really likes the game. But there are certain, creatures that are too much for her to handle. She really likes it when I play with her, but I don't like Monster Hunter. So it's still possible. If I were to tell Tenorio that you said that, she'd be like, "Let's do it!" So it's possible. It's possible. These next set of questions come from Woofy. So what's your favorite Halloween costume that you've gotten to wear, and the least favorite? God, that's right. I've had so many Halloweens. I remember my last few Halloweens, the last one I did was really lazy, just really phoned in. I was going through some life stuff at the time, so when it came to like fun things, I didn't dedicate too much time to it. Remember the last Halloween, I just like got a mask from this, like just like an old man mask and just like wore it around. Very like, if you saw a 90s movie and there was like a jerky like senior high school guy, just a guy in the background just walking, that was me. Very basic. It was really bad. My favorite costume and my least favorite costume all wrapped into one was this time that I went out for Halloween as a Diglett from Pokemon. My mom took a gigantic spool of felt and made, a Diglett shape, vaguely. And, but I wish I had pictures of it. I wish I did. I think my mom might, but she's states and states away from me, and I just don't. I've got to try to find that picture. I had this gigantic, I looked like a turd, basically. I had brown face paint on. It was also the year that I learned I was allergic to face paint. So I went out as this gigantic, swollen-faced, sweaty, oily, like my eyes were like gone, and I was like a giant poop. With like a red button nose for some reason, and yeah, everyone kept asking me, "Are you a poop?" And I was like, "Ha, yeah!" Inside I cried, though. It was very dramatic. Are there any typical monsters that are in the Halloween era that you wished would be updated and given more awesome treatment in the media? I think werewolves are marginalized and mistreated in comparison to vampires, for example. Tenorio really hates werewolves. Sorry to burst that bubble for you. She says they're gross. We watched a movie together just the other day called Trick or Treat. Came out 2007. It has werewolves in there, and I do agree, in that movie, werewolves are pretty gross. But, speaking of that movie, the little pumpkin demon, Sam, I think his name was. I want to see more pumpkin creatures. Like in a fun kind of, you know, like that or skeletons, you know? Like Nightmare Before Christmas, just Twilight. Subtitle Skeleton Edition. There you go. Which B-movie critter scared you the most as a kid? I once saw glimpses of Critter in Critters 2 when I was like 4 or 5, and it scared the ever-loving bejeebers out of me despite how goofy those things were. B-movie critter scared. When I was really little, I saw the Batman, that one Batman movie where Danny DeVito's Penguin and he bites off the guy's nose. That jacked me up. It's not really a horror movie, but no, I didn't really watch horror movies. I was always on a steady diet of like Pokemon, and then the first like 10 seconds of whatever the intro of the show after Pokemon was, it was usually Batman. I'd be like, that juxtaposition is really hell for a kid, by the way, if you're not into like dark brooding stuff. Like, I love Batman now, but when I was a kid I hated it. You know, you watch Pokemon, the outro is the intro, the same song, you know, and it's just, oh, nice, and then just blah, 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 Danny Elfman, blah, 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 blah. It was terrible. But considering the glut out there, do you have a favorite game from the horror genre? Jump scares, slow building horror, atmospheric horror, there's lots of different styles of horror to choose from. Yay, poker face. Yeah, jump scares, I'm not like super over jump scares yet because I just don't really play that many horror games, as you have seen from my channel. But a favorite horror game. Fear. Fear was the first scary game that I'd ever played, and I really liked it. I would play it in like 5-minute bursts and then quick save and then shut it off because I'm not even exaggerating. I was so freaking scared of that game. But it broke me in. Like horror game I'm kind of looking forward to playing. My Tenorio's brother, my brother-in-law, who's Sputnik from, he played at Minecraft with me and Naro a long time ago, like when the channel first started. And he's like, hey, have you heard of Soma? And I was like, I think I've heard the name, but I'm not really looking into it. I'm not really into those like horror survival games. Survival horror. See, I don't even know like what the genre is properly called. Is it Tecmo Koei or Koei Tecmo? I don't know. But he said it's like BioShock mixed with Alien Isolation, and I love BioShock. I didn't like Alien Isolation because of how like impossibly clairvoyant the alien was, but we're gonna try that this weekend though. So yeah, he was like, let's play it. I can't play it by myself, so we're gonna do that later tonight, I think. So maybe that'll be good. I hear it's good. So that's all the questions for this month. Thank you everyone for submitting them. It was a lot more than last month, and even having done that, there were a lot of you in the comments on the Q&A talk video that were like, oh, here's some questions for next time if you don't have any. So I feel bad. I want to answer a couple of those. Let me dig it up. Hold on, where is it? I've actually been really good about uploading my videos on time, so it's like actually buried a lot deeper in here than I think I realized. Here's one from the Ninja NZ. He says, okay, Kakujo, a backup question for you. What is your favorite voice character thingy? E.g. gun or core or whatever. As much as I don't like to pick favorites amongst my children, so don't tell them, but I don't know what he means by voicing though. I like core. He's a very, I don't know, there's something about core that's just so something, you know? I haven't quite quantified it yet, and I'm not trying to understand it. I don't want to boil core down to some just analyzed thing and then put them on cereal boxes and make some moon shoes out of them. I just, you know, people seem to really like him, and I agree. I really enjoy him. I like him a lot. Not that I don't enjoy the other ones, just I don't know. It might have also just been the vehicle that core was delivered to you in, that was Minecraft, that is. And I think it was just, in a game like Minecraft, it gives the companions more room to breathe and more room to be themselves and to develop themselves. I feel like with Core, in Minecraft, we had more time and more opportunities to actually learn about him, rather than him just, remark on the situation like, Gun or oftentimes Bax do. They usually don't have time. Like in Nuclear Throne, I don't really get to ask Gun that many questions. There was actually, though, in a Metroid Prime Let's Play, which is not on this channel, it's on another channel, there was actually a lot of Gun telling us about himself in that one. So if you can find it, I guess watch it. Yeah, maybe. Huh. And then one more. One more, okay? This video's getting a little longer, and I know you want to keep these short, right? When is Ed coming back? Dungeon number 0 asks that question. Ed, the character from Minecraft last Let's Play, I think people liked his, I don't know, wacky, nice, yet evilness or something. He's a little iffy to me. Usually when I get involved with him, it's him helping me out, but at a weird price. And then I also have to have a bunch of screen shake and warbly things, and usually there's the Ouija face in there somewhere. But the next Minecraft series ideally will start in November, here in a few days. At some point in early November, because after Costume Quest is done, I'm not going to go back to Subnautica because I'm going to let that update or full release. So that's all. That's all the questions. Thanks everyone so much for a nice beefy set of questions. Thanks for your support on Patreon. If you want to ask these questions and, you know, be in the group of people that gets to ask all the bunch of questions, it's over on patreon.com/Kakujomics, and you can support me with a small amount of money per month and get things in return. And there's always the option, if you're not comfortable with doing like a subscription-based type thing, you can just, there's details on the Patreon page at the bottom about doing a 1-month thing, if that's an issue for you or whatever. Or if not, who cares? Everything's still like, it's gonna be like it is, and I still love the bits and bytes. You're all the bits and bytes to me. So, next Q&A video. See you then. It got dark in here.